Yeah, I forgot the. Hello, everybody, and I forgot this beautiful intro. Anyways, look at me. Woohoo! And hello again. I couldn't miss this. Like without this music, it just puts you in that vibe, right? And I couldn't just miss it. And hello again, everybody. It's me, Irina Portnova, and I'm here with the dear guest, Nichole McLeod. And Nichole, just tell a little bit about yourself, and thanks so much for stopping by.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I have been on a new adventure in the last few years here. I've been a fitness coach for the last 30 years, but life took a little bit of a turn, and now I'm excited to be an author soon and change the trajectory of where I'm going, and from people like you, my friend, that has helped me get there. So that's super exciting times right now.
Oh my God, this is so amazing. Thanks so much for sharing. And I think it's all of us, right? I mean, if we are not growing, we are just dying. It's impossible just to stay at the same place, because a lot of people do, right? They have their jobs, the same jobs for over 20 years, and they live the same life. Obviously, there is something more to life, right? That what we can experience. And for people who always looking for something, because we cannot be just staying still and allowing the life to happen to us, right? We want to be a part of it. We want to be the active participants, and we want to actually lead our own life.
Yes, we absolutely do. And it's funny because we get this mindset going that we have this vision of where we think our life should be, and we work hard towards that. But then the obstacles start coming, and it's hard to not look at the positives when they're coming your way, when it really could just be a nudge to put you into a different direction. And at the time, it just feels like everything's coming crumbling down, but really it's just perspective, and that a new direction is where you need to be headed. And it's all about the mindset, and it's all about staying positive towards and embracing the changes, and embracing the fear of change, and so that you can enlighten yourself to the ample opportunity of that. So
oh my God, this is yes, so beautifully said, Nichole, because what comes for me as you are speaking, it's true. It's all in our perspective, right? The way we want to call it. Because if we think about it, if we start treating changes as something exciting rather than something fearful, we completely change the game, right? Because we know that, okay, whatever a change is happening, it's all for our highest good. And when we actually open our arms and just hug these changes, it becomes so easy, and it becomes very effortlessly. And then we also can actually feel in the vibe, and we experience the best of our life.
You just said it bang on. And I think this was something that you said to me earlier on in our friendship, was embrace it and embrace the change. And when you look at it from that perspective, that this is, and that it's going to be out for our good, and that blew my mind and it's so silly, because I'm a Christian, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, I'm somebody that has been telling people this for so many years of my career. But to take it for myself and truly understand that, okay, my life is going in a different way, but this could be for my good. And the day that you realize that it is for your good, and that there is something that's better for you on the other side, but it's going to take that first step to really wake up to the opportunities awaiting you. And we're our biggest roadblock. We hold ourselves back. Every single one of us hold ourselves back.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important to understand it, right? When you really study all these universal laws and concepts, and understand exactly that each cause has its effect. And once we connect with that energy and know that everything is having some kind of reason to that, right? And I always teach my clients that in any bad situation, there is a seed of good.
Yeah.
But at the current moment when we are dealing with that adversity, right, we do not see the seed of good. All we see is frustration, being upset, stressed, right, going through the motions, crying and saying, why is this happening to me? So once we shift that mindset and say, hey, I might not see at this moment what is good in this situation, but I know for a fact there is something good. And with the time, the things are going to be unfolded, and I'll experience exactly what is the magic of these changes.
You are preaching it, sister, because man, as a trainer, like I said, of 30 years, I was the go big, go home. Let's, what won't destroy you will only make you stronger. And then I got sick. And then, your physical health goes when you're used to moving, then your mental health goes. And then, a whirlwind of emotions start going down. And the next thing you know, you're lost. And, the day that I woke up, and it was a bit before I got over my pity party, and humbling experience of, pride, because you don't want to reach out for help. And, we're adults, we should know what we're doing and we should know how to deal with this. But then you realize really quickly that that life can change at any given time. And it's really what defines you isn't what happens to you. What defines you is how you get back up, but how you get back up with the positive attitude, and understand that miracles happen in the roadblocks. Miracles happen in the things that knock you down in life. If we just changed our perspective on that and realized those are the miracles, that is the opportunity, because you now have an opportunity to get stronger, to get bigger, to get better, to reinvent yourself, to I don't want to say go big or go home, but sky's the limit for opportunities, So, but my friend, mindset, like those hard days, and the conversations that we've had, and it was those shifts when you've said, like, give me a positive, what's the good out of this, and that really helped a lot. And what you do for people, my friend, and really helping to shift that perspective. And I keep using the word perspective, but boy, is it ever perspective. And how are you looking at it? Are you doing the pity party? Are you overanalyzing what's not working for you? Or are you focused on what is working for you? And the small wins along the way, every day there's a win. Just, we got to find it. Instead of looking for the losses, look for the wins.
Absolutely. And first of all, I just wanted to say hi to Toby. And I love you so much. She is such a great fan. She always comes to lives, and she's such a great supporter. And lots of love to you, Toby. Very smart. She's also coach and author. And I just love to be in the space of these kind of people. And just to add to Nichole, what you were saying, it was interesting when we were having the conversation together, and I was just shifting your energy, and you told me, but Irina, I know this all. How come, right? How come I do know it, and how come I'm not practicing it? Because I always say we cannot see the picture when we are the ones in the frame. That's why it's so important to always have somebody by your side, either the coach or the mentor, but somebody has to be with you, because nobody does it alone. Every successful person has the mentor. Otherwise, you're going to be stagnating at some point. You can reach some heights, and that's it. If you are not working with anybody else, sooner or later, you're going to go down the hill. So it's important to know that as long as we are living, as long as we are breathing, we constantly have to evolve. We constantly have to learn. And we are actually life learners on this beautiful journey of life, right? And again, the best lessons that we can learn, these are the life lessons, because this is something that nobody taught us, right? The schools were only focusing on education, and the universities were focusing to give us the profession, so we can go into the world and bring the income, right, to the society. But the best thing is really something that people really have to tune in, because they feel lost, right? How many successful people are not having good relationships, right? Yeah. Because they don't even know how to handle the relationship. They could be the best executives. They could run the companies with lots of people, but they are very helpless when it comes to the relationships, right? With their partner, with their family. So the idea is not only we have to be educated in terms of the education for the degree and do whatever we want to do
Yep.
in lifetime, but also we want to continuously educate in ourselves. Who am I? What am I all about? And knowing our values, knowing our belief system, and knowing that we can actually upgrade our belief system anytime that we want to.
I like that. And you know what? It comes down to, it's self-regulation. It really is. Emotional intelligence and self-regulation to me is an art that a lot of people either never learned or got somehow lost in it. And really that's the ability to that back to that perspective is really understanding that, that shift in reality sometimes happens, and it's how we stay focused on the end goal and adapt along the way to it, right? Very true.
Absolutely. And you know what? I love what you shared, Ellie, when you said, Nichole, that we are also trained to be acting independently. Like you would not even ask for help. And I remember even like being in the, like workforce, it's like the last thing you would ever want to go and ask for help, because people are going to think like, seriously, you are holding this position and you're asking for help, right? Like it's your job to figure it out. But the idea is it is necessary to ask for help, and it's actually advisable to ask for help, because we do not have to be alone on this journey.
Right.
And knowing there are so many people who are going to support you, so many people who are going to say, hey, I believe in you. I know you can do it, right? Because we all can do it. And like you mentioned, celebrate the wins. Again, this is something that we were never taught. All the time we were taught to just, like, don't speak up, be quiet, don't try to show off, right? Just
Yep.
be like, everybody else, right? So we were raised with all these beliefs, limited beliefs. And that's exactly the life that we are right now producing because of everything that was taught to us. And now we are reprogramming our minds, right? With more powerful beliefs. And it takes time, it takes courage, but once you actually upgrade yourself, it's like a completely different life. You upgrade your mind and you upgrade your life.
That's so true. And when I started in the industry almost 30 years ago, and I just told everyone my age, but we were called fitness instructors, and then it was the personal trainers, and now it's coaches. And I thought to myself the other day, what brilliant, because this word coach has transitioned into so many different fields. And what a lot of people would never think to have a mentor, really mentors are coaches. And it's funny for me to say this because I technically am a coach, but I never thought of having a coach. I never thought of having a coach for here. I never thought of having a coach for here. We've always thought that's a counselor, that's a psychologist, that's a whatever, that's what we have to do. But no, there are so many great people like yourself, Irina, that just take people to the next level just by simply changing the mindset and how you look at the world. And that coach, although there's usually an investment connected, can you afford not to do that? And I know that even 3 months ago, I would have told you the exact same thing, but I can't even express how much further along in life I've come, and the financial part comes with it. So it's, it comes down to that we don't invest in ourselves. And I'm not just talking about financially. What are you investing in yourself to make you a better person? And it comes with that. Exactly what you offer, Irina, is the mindset and the connection to the self, and bringing yourself to the higher level, because we all are created for greatness. Every one of us has something inside of us that only we can offer this world. And if we sit back and we don't let that out and figure out what that thing is that we offer the world, then the world misses out, and so do we, right?
Absolutely. It's all about prioritizing ourselves, right? Because again, we were told, don't think about yourself. And especially being a woman, right? It's like about the partner, about the parents, about the kids. And we are always the last ones. But the idea is that we actually have to connect with ourselves first, because if we are not going to fill our cup, we cannot share, right?
That's
we
right.
cannot give that love and everything else, the care and attention. And it's more and more becomes popular that people start realizing what it is to be mindful, what it is to really dedicate every day 15-20 minutes to yourself. It's a must, because this is
The
something, the
word.
time when you connect just with yourself, when you really check in and see. It's
Mhm.
like, like I'm comparing to the car. You have to take the car to change the oil, right, to put the fuel in. So the same thing with us, like, like we are also functioning with the fuel, which is our energy. So
Yes.
if we are depleted of that energy, how can we function? How can we be our best versions? And again, we could totally be emotionally like a wreck, because if we do not know how to regulate our emotions, if we do not know how to connect to ourselves, how to give love to ourselves, like it's such a big thing right now. So people have to connect more. And like you mentioned, investment, like what is it costing people to live the same miserable life for so many years? Okay, maybe for some it's not that miserable, right? But good is the enemy of great.
Ooh, I
So
like
people are
that.
just yes,
I
people are
like
just
that.
settled with whatever they have,
Hmm.
and they do not want to shake the water, right? Like, just like sitting in that swamp is better than doing something else, right?
Yep.
But the idea is, it's just like, it's you know what, I always compare it. It's like, if you do not see what is better out there, it seems like it's good where you are, right? But once you experience how could it be better, then
Yes.
it's like you can't just sit still and denying it, right?
Right.
Because now you know how good it can actually, how great it can be. Like, why not you, and why not now? Because people are investing in stocks, investing in real estate, not realizing whatever you invest in yourself, it's gonna be tenfold more.
Here was something that I thought of, and of course is all a comparison, I guess you can say, to water. The first one was that water, if you look at water on a molecular level, it actually changes when you speak positive to it or you speak negative to it. You can go online and you can actually see what changes in water when from the power in the tongue. And if you consider the fact that your body is made up of mostly water, what happens on those days that we're speaking negative to ourselves? What happens on those days that I say more mean things to myself? I would never say some of the things that I say to myself to another human being. Why do I say them to myself? Why am I the first to call myself an idiot? Or we all do it. And it's like, why? When you speak that, your body, your brain believes you. So if you say it, your brain will believe you, and that is what you'll be. Even if on those days that I'm having a bad day, I will speak life now, and I don't want to. There's many days I don't want to speak life, and I just, in the pit of my gut, it wants to play the pity party. But since I've had this new, eye-opening reality to me, when you speak positive into it, it's amazing what happens. And another water analogy that really hit home for me is, if you're walking around with your cup full all the time of water, if you get nudged a little, you get pushed, that water is going to spill over, right? The water being your stress levels in life. If you're walking around with less water in that cup and someone nudges you, well, you're not going to be spilling that water over, because you don't. So really, that talks about the speaking the life into each other and to yourself, but helping with the words, bringing down your stress levels so you can have that mindset, right?
Oh my God, I just love that comparison to the water. And it's true. It's just like I said, we just have to pause sometimes. We
Yep.
just have to pause and start like really thinking about the life and the meaning of it, and what exactly are we here for, right? Are we here to be stressed, to be overwhelmed and constantly just running like a chicken without the head, or we are here just to actually experience the best? And like I said, why do I have this living in a miracle? Because I just want people to start thinking about the miracles.
And
Because
they're
every
around you.
day you can, yeah, the more you start counting, the more these miracles are gonna show up in your life.
Every day you wake up is a miracle. Every day that you breathe, every day that you drink, every day that you know you see your loved one, that's a miracle. We're all miracles. And you know what? The miracle that you offer the world is you. And that, each one of us, we all have that story. And how much better off would this world be if we had that mindset? If each and every one of us just stopped to realize that the miracle we are and what our contribution is to this world. Because yes, in looking at yourself and your needs, yes, 100%. And that is the biggest reason, one of the bigger reasons that I had my my awakening a few years back, and why I wrote a book about it. But it was the day that I realized that, if I'm not fulfilling my purpose and I'm not helping others, like on the worst days of my, on my worst days that I would have and not feeling great, it was always when I considered helping the world, and not necessarily making someone lunch or breakfast or whatever, but truly, what am I contributing to this? And of course, it starts with knowing who you are and knowing what miracles you can relay to the world. But it's truly understanding that as a whole. And you, Irina, are one of the best people in the world to express that. Because I just want to say to everybody here that I would have never thought of having a coach for meditation and loving yourself. And I would have thought before that I could do this myself. I'll just read a book. It's totally fine. But like you said, having that person in your corner, that is just, you can't put a price on that. You just can't. So thank you, Irina. You've made such a difference to me. You really have.
Thank you so much, Nichole. And I truly appreciate, and I'm so grateful for our connection. It's like the universe always brings people together, right? Like I stopped questioning it a long time ago. Like for me, there are no coincidences. Everything is already predetermined with the beautiful design of the universe. And what I wanted to point out as well is you mentioned that, like living in a purpose, right? So it's different when people are just happy, and it's different when people are fulfilled.
Ooh, that's
because
good.
There are more people who are happy, but less people who are fulfilled. Yeah. And that's why we have to search for something that really gives us life. Because no matter how rainy day it could be, but once we connect with our purpose, we find that meaning of life. We understand why we are here and what we are meant to do. And like for me, when I have these down days, as soon as I post something on Facebook, on social media, I immediately feel so good, because I know I served somebody who's supposed to hear that message again.
I love it. Good job. No, that's so true. And like, helping each other get along the way. And that's probably the biggest reason I wrote the book, was because I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to show everyone that we're not alone in this. And why do we have that mindset that we are alone in this? Like, let's share each other's bad days and share each other's successes, because that's what's going to help get each other through. So you're right on track there, my friend. Right on track.
So tell us a little bit about your book. When are you supposed to release it, and what is it all about?
Well, the book is called I Started on a Tuesday, and it actually came to me, gosh, God put it in my head probably over 10 years ago. I'm closer to probably 15. And the idea came to me because most people, all of us, want to start things on a Sunday. For whatever reason, next week, if I would try to get a client to start a workout on a Thursday, I did not have as much success if I started on a Sunday or a Monday at the beginning of the week. So, Sunday's the day I'm going to start working out Sunday. Oh, Sunday's still technically the weekend. So Monday's my day to work out. Well, whatever happened on Monday, tomorrow for sure. Tuesday's my day. Well, Tuesday's almost halfway through the week. I can't start on a Tuesday. Sunday's the day. And we get set in this loop. So that's where the idea came from. And I really just wanted to talk to the world and just be transparent and show everybody that they're not alone, and that life is, you're constantly changing, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly becoming a better person, and it's never too late to change. It is never too late to change who you are. And if you don't like the person you are, change it. If you don't like the way you think, change it. If you don't like the way you look, change it. Like, there's always room for change. And that starts with embracing the miracles, my friend.
Oh my God, I love whatever you shared. And it's so true. It's like every day we wake up, it's like a new blank sheet of paper.
Yes.
Or, like the canvas, right? Whatever you like to call it. And let's just create our life. So there
That's
is
right.
always fresh start. We don't have to wait till next year. We do not have to wait till next month. Every day it's a fresh new start. As long as you want to, right? And you just make that decision, because nobody is gonna do it for you.
That's right.
Because you
Nobody
can
is.
have the best coaches in the world, but if you're not putting the work in, nothing is gonna change.
Yep, that's very true. And the vision boards are really big for me. And having that, the top three, like I was always the person that had 100 things on my to-do list. I think a lot of us girls do that, especially moms when your kids are in sports and activities, the lists get long. But to really stay focused on the top three things that matter to you, I think that's really important. And that really gives you more of an opportunity to embrace the miracles that come with that and the learnings that come along the way. And I think if we just started to kind of change our focus on that, I think it'll just open up a whole new potential opportunity for advancement, and to get to that higher self for sure.
Totally. You know what? You are just talking about to-do list, and I just wanted to share that message that, you know what, it doesn't matter how long the list is. Just stop. If you feel exhausted, if you feel drained, just, like lay down and give yourself some time. It could be meditation for 10 minutes, or just simply closing your eyes and give yourself a break.
Yeah,
Because, like I said, energy is our fuel. If we do not have energy, we cannot do much.
that's right. That's right. So you know what, I've always been, I'm, as a Christian myself, I pray a lot, but I never really took the time to truly just meditate, just stop and to actually, what's going on in here? What do I feel? And I never
Right.
did that. I never stopped to truly meditate and breathe, breath work. Like we don't think to do that. We're in our moments, we're all stressed out and whatever the moment is, and we don't stop to just take a breath and just kind of retrack where we're going, essentially. So very true. And thank you. It's
Absolutely.
because of you I've started to meditate. So
Oh,
it's going
so
wonderful.
beautiful.
Yes, the Mendy has been helpful for me. I'm not by any means get anything for it, but as a tool for meditation, if anybody on here does struggle with meditation, I know there's a few of them out there, but the Mendy, I don't know how it works. You literally move this ball with your eyes, but somehow it's helping me. So maybe that can help
Yes.
some others too.
Exactly. Whatever works for you, just, test it, try it, do something, right? Just don't stay still and complain about it, right? Like,
That's right.
because our life is in our own hands and we are in charge of it. So whatever we want to create, we can anytime. So miracles are always there, and they're waiting for you to be discovered.
It doesn't really matter in the sense of what you believe in, if it's God, if it's Mother Earth, if it's what, but the bottom line is that, God does want us to take that step forward and do it first. And if you don't want to make that step and move that foot, to make a change, then like you just said, my friend, no one's coming to do it for you. Very true.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you so much, Nichole. It was such a pleasure to have you with us. And
Thank
for
you.
everybody who's watching the episode, I'm sure you're going to take some golden nuggets from today's conversation. And just remember that you are in charge of your life. So keep searching for the miracles.
Thank you for having me, Irina.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And have a beautiful week, everybody.